Hi, and welcome to video 2 for section 1.8 for Math 126. This is the second of 3 videos. As I alluded to at the end of video 1, in this video, we're going to be looking at the graphs of circles. So, an equation of a circle, so an equation of the circle, I guess I have it written here. An equation of the circle with center H and K and radius R is given by, we have this as the equation, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So this h is the x coordinate of the center of the circle. This k is the y value for the center of the circle. And then r, for whatever number we have here, it's r squared. So if we take the square root of the number on this side, that'll give us from the center point how far out to the circle are we. And what do we notice here? So we have x minus h and y minus k. But the center is actually what? H and k. So even though I have the minus sign here, my center point is the opposite of what I see. So if this said x minus 2, this would be plus 2. And if this said y plus 3, well, I see plus 3, so this k would be minus 3 because there's that negative sign in there. So this equation, so this is called the standard form for the equation of a circle. And if the center is at the origin, so if the center is at the origin is what? 0, 0. That means h is 0 and k is 0. So this piece is gone, that piece is gone. So I end up with what? So if the center is at the origin, the equation is simply x squared plus y squared equals the radius squared. So this is our standard form. We always want to put the equation in standard form. Then we can see what's our center point. And once we have the center point, we take the square root of the number on the right side of the equation. And so once I have that center, no matter where it is, I move that many units to the right, that many units to the left, that many units up, that many units down, and then I know I have a circle. So it makes it really easy to graph a circle without having to plot a bunch of points. I can just figure out where's my center and then whatever my radius is. If it's 3, I go 3 units here, 3 units there, 3 units there, 3 units down, connect the dots. So let's try a couple of examples. So the first one, we want to graph x squared plus y squared equals 25. So this one looks like what? It looks like this guy, right? We don't have an h or a k written in there, so that tells me what? That tells me my center is the origin, 0, 0. Now I need the radius. The radius is what? Well, this guy here is r squared. So r squared is 25, which means r, my radius, would be the square root of 25. which would just be 5. Now you're saying, well, wait, why don't we do plus or minus? Well, radius is what? Radius is a distance measure. So we don't have like a -5 distance. So we're only really worried about the positive value here. Our radius is +5. So now if I go to draw this, so my center is the origin, that's here. Radius is 5, so I'm going to go 5 units to the right. From the radius, 5 units up. From the radius, from the center, 5 units to the left. And from the center, 5 units down. And then it's a matter of connect the dots as best I can. A little squish, but you get the point. It's a circle, centered at the origin, radius of 5. Look at another example. So that one had the center at the origin, no h, no k. But now let's say we want to graph x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 25. So here, again, this should be red flags for you, or alarm bells. If you see something that says graph and it's got an x squared and a y squared, that should tell you at this point, until you get to Math 127, circle. That's the shapes you're going to know now when you have an x squared and a y squared. It's in standard form, so to figure out my center, I need my h and k. And what did I mention before? Whatever I see, it's the opposite of that. So I see -2, so that means my h is +2. And I see +1, which means my k is -1. So the center is at 2, -1. Whatever I see, take the opposite. Whatever I see, take the opposite. And the radius, again, is the square root of 25, which is just 5. So now if I draw this, my center is at +2, -1. So that's where? +2, -1. So here. Now I have to be careful when I'm plotting these points, because I'm not on the axis anymore. On the axes. So my radius is still 5, so 5 units this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now again, connect the dots. Hey, not too bad, huh? So there you have it. You have a circle. And again, this says graph. It could also say sketch. We're not looking, I'm not going to require you to bring in a compass and make sure it's a perfect circle on your exam. You see how perfect my circles are, right? That's all you need. As long as it's basically a circle and you tell me the center is here and the radius is this. If you have that information and it basically looks like that. Now, that being said, if your graph had the center over here and it looked like a tiny circle, well, that's clearly wrong, right? Because if the center isn't where it's supposed to be and the radius is clearly not 5, so that would be an issue. But if it's essentially looks like that, it's got the center where the center should be, the radius is 5 in all directions, that's what I'm really looking for. So that's it, kind of a quick introduction to circles, how to graph them. Come on back in video 3, we're going to look at some more complicated problems, but, and this is why we do the flipped class, it's the problems you're going to see on your exams. You'll see them on your midterm, you'll likely see it on the final. So I want to make sure that video is separate, so when you're going back to review, you can just go to those videos and you don't have to search all over the place for it. You can just go, oh, section 1.8, video 3, circle examples, let me watch those. Oh yeah, I have it, I'm ready for these exams now. So come on back and we'll tackle those problems.